Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Bloxton. I'm a senior accounting specialist here at Buffalo Americas, and today we'll be talking about our Buffalo Windows Server IoT 2019. Next slide, please, Gary. Just a little information about Buffalo. We are a market share leader in DMR. We're #1 in DMR with the MPD Data Group. We were founded in 1974. We have over 45 years in the business. Our headquarters is in Nagoya, Japan, and our US headquarters is here in Austin, Texas, where most of us are. We are award-winning technical support. I think this is 4 years in a row. And we're committed to not only the small and medium business market, but entry-level enterprise and consumer market. Our products are purposely built products for solutions that benefit those markets. And we have a pre-sales dedicated team, as well as a post-sale resource team, as well as our tech support. And with that, we're going to turn it over to our engineer, Gary Thomas, and he'll go into the presentation. Thanks for
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So let's talk a little bit about Windows Server IoT 2019. Windows Server, it is per Microsoft, this is a binary equivalent to Windows Server 2019. It's exactly the same physical operating system. The difference is in how it's licensed. So rather than have just a base version of server that you could then throw a bunch of different types of licenses at for client access license, different other licenses. There is only a single license on this OS. It's tied to the hardware. It is a perpetual license. Now, the flip side of that is that there are some things it's not licensed to do. One of the big ones is that it's not licensed to be a domain controller. It can be a member server in a domain, but not a domain controller. So it's just a very specialized license. And if you need more information, we can always get one-on-one and talk more about the way that license is structured. Where Microsoft's positioning this operating system is as an edge computing device. So we see it as using it as a central backup hub for your cloud data, running different types of edge applications on a device that's a little lower cost because you don't have the expense of the extra Windows licenses that are sometimes required. Now this is the WS5020, as it says, is the only one of our NAS devices to get this operating system at a good cost-effective price point. Now, I mentioned edge computing a minute ago. That's where this OS is positioned as an edge computing device, and it's anything that it's defined as anything that happens at the edge of the network. So an individual's workstation could be an edge device. It's not a gateway to something else. Surveillance servers, POS devices, running building security, running machine management, like in a manufacturing environment. Oftentimes you'll have computers that do machine management. Anything that's not considered a core network function, like it's not licensed to be your primary SQL server, that would be that would violate the EULA. So just being a basic file server, it can do that. Being a member node in a distributed file system, that's possible as well. But anything that's happening at the edge of a network is considered edge computing. All right, so this is an embedded solution. It's pre-installed. Like I said, the cost is much lower than buying a full-blown server with all the specific licensing that goes along with that for Windows Server 2019. It's pre-installed, it's ready to go. You plug it in, turn it on, it'll boot up. It's ready to go. You join it to your domain or whatever you need to do, add third-party software that you need to accomplish the task. As I mentioned, there are no CALs associated with this, so you have an unlimited number of concurrent users. The base warranty on this is 3 years. It covers everything: hard drives, chassis, motherboard, whatever breaks, we'll replace it. And this is we can extend this warranty out to 5 years. Now, what are we talking about? Different things that you can do with this. Okay, so this will work with almost all cloud services. It'll handle local server and data backup. We see it as running central backup console. Many backup vendors, their software uses a central console to manage multiple backup locations. Something along the lines of StorageCraft's Image Manager or Veeam's Backup and Replication Console could be run on this device at a lower cost than maybe doing a full server license. You can do offsite and co-location replication, archival storage, whatever you need a simple Windows server to do. This can probably handle it. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about central backup. Everybody's doing everything in the cloud now, right? I know that we as a company have gone away from, we don't keep an Exchange server on site anymore. We use Office 365 and, let Microsoft handle our Exchange servers and all this. But along with that, Microsoft will specifically tell you, hey, we're doing all this for you, but we're not really responsible for your data. We've got all your data, but we're not backing it up. So, if something happens, we're sorry, but it happened. And I can personally attest to, I've seen in Exchange 365 an entire mailbox disappear and be gone, lost forever, unrecoverable. So Microsoft and most cloud providers recommend that you have more than one copy of your data. And obviously there's a strong recommendation now to back up your Office 365 data, and this is the ideal device for that. Running some third-party, whoever's third-party software you want to use to do your Office 365 backup, this can handle that, as well as your local backups for your on-site servers as well. So you can handle, all of your backup needs in one location at a fair price. So it's not again, it's a lower cost device. Again, like we said, on-premise data security, we can replicate from data from one of these to another WSIoT 2019 device by Buffalo, or we can also replicate this with one of our regular Terra stations that's not running Windows. So you have some flexibility there in replicating your data and having it in more than one location. As we talked about earlier, it is Windows, so it does have built-in Windows firewall, Windows malware protection, and obviously you can add whatever virus and malware protection that is needed. As long as it runs in Windows, it'll run on here. All right, so like I said, this is obviously it is running Windows, so it can fit right into your existing Windows environments. It can be like I said, it can't be a domain controller, but it can be a member server in a domain. It can handle some other functions, DNS, DHCP type functions. It'll obviously work with any Windows compatible cloud service, which is at this point almost all of them. Obviously the big ones, Azure, Amazon S3, Dropbox, OneDrive, are all going to be compatible with this. So anything that has a Windows client, any cloud that has a Windows client, you can run on this to replicate that data out of the cloud so that you have more than one location. And this is just a simple step to strengthen the plans that are already in place. All right, so You can use this device, like I said, as a backup device, as many other things, as a security device, building security, run your surveillance software on it. It can even, in some cases, act as a low-cost BDR appliance, where if you have a need to be able to spin up a down server quickly, if your backup software can create a VHDX file, this OS will allow you to install Hyper-V and run up to 2 virtual machines. Now, this is a limited hardware platform, so it's I wouldn't recommend running a production VM on there long term. But short term, especially for a small office installation, this could be a solution, a lower cost solution to some of the other options that are out there to spin up a down system temporarily until you can get that system up and running. So anytime where you have a situation where you need a lower cost BDR type installation, this can fit into there. And if you want, again, if you want to talk more about that, more information about that, you talk to one of our reps. All right, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to, I believe Andrew's going to take over now.
Yep. All right, thank you, Gary. Certainly appreciate your expertise on the WS IoT. And just to introduce myself, my name is Andrew Houghton. I'm Mike's counterpart here at Buffalo. So I'm one of the channel account managers. So anything you guys need as far as part numbers, pricing, deal reg, customer calls, all that fun stuff, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask us. So to continue here with the slides, we're going to take a look at our high performance Buffalo NAS, which is our 5000 series. So our Buffalo 5010, some common things just to hit on here, especially during government buying season. We get a lot of questions if we are GAA compliant. Yes, we are. Our NAS units are made in Japan. Also to be aware of, our 5010 as well as our WS IoT is VMware ready. If you have any customers looking to do any virtualization on these, please note that these are the units that would be recommended, as if there are any issues and they have to contact VMware, they need to be working off a certified device. All right, so on the 5010 series, just a rundown here, we have available our 4-bay rack mount desktop, 8-bay desktop, and then our 12-bay 2U rack mount. As far as capacities go, our 4-bay starts at 8 terabytes, and we're going to scale up to 192 terabytes in our fully populated 12-bay rack mount. And something, if you speak with Mike or myself, have been on any of these webinars, one thing we always want to talk about is our hard drives included message. All right, this is something that is very helpful for you, for your customer. All our devices are going to come with hard drives pre-installed. They're all pre-tested. The units are going to be pre-configured. Typically, these ones would come in RAID 5 or RAID 6. So what that's going to do, it's going to save you guys a lot of time. It's going to save your customer money as well. Typically, you have to pick out the enclosure, find hard drives that are compatible, make sure everything's in stock, and it's a lot of back and forth. So with Buffalo, everything comes included in one single part number. So you're going to get those hard drives, power supply, network cards, 3-year standard warranty. If it's a rack mount, that rail kit comes included as well. And then just again, as far as capacity goes, like I said, we have start at 8 up to 192, and there's a lot of options in between. We have the option to provide you with a partially populated unit, so your customer has room to grow into that and add drives as they expand, or you can go with a fully populated unit that they know they're getting exactly what they need. And then on the WS side, we have a 2-bay desktop, and then our 4-bay desktop and rack mount as well. Again, starting at 8 terabytes and going up to 40 terabytes in the rack mount and 32 terabytes in the desktop. As far as use cases go, right, there's a lot of use cases. These are just some that we see most often. Client backups, migrating off old servers, DR replication, again, virtualization. These are VMware ready. These are great as a surveillance solution. Failover, our Windows server AWS IoT, and then the cloud integration as well with Dropbox, Azure, Amazon S3, and Dropbox. And then one that's not on here as well that we talk about a lot with customers is our server expansion, using these as an iSCSI target off the customer's current server. We get this a lot. Customers are running out of capacity on their server and they need to, increase capacity. And what you can do is use a Buffalo NAS as an iSCSI target to increase that capacity. It's not going to take away any performance from the server, and they're going to be set for quite some time with that increased capacity, and it's going to be at a great price point as well. The markets we sell into, it's not a customer specific device across the board. We're government, state and local, corporate, healthcare, education, finance, startups, you name it. If you guys have a customer, Buffalo NAS can be an option for them. Next slide, please. All right, so this is our refresh program that we currently have running. I'll give you the rundown on how this works is if you're recommending a 5010 or the WS to your customer, those would be qualifying products. So first off, right, we're going to set you up with deal reg as long as it's an open opportunity on our end. And then to qualify for the refresh discount, if your customer has an old server or an old NAS that was purchased in 2018 or prior, all you need to provide to myself or Mike is the manufacturer and the serial number from that device. So we're going to be able to pass on some extra discounts to you to help incentivize that customer to move forward with the Buffalo unit. And then something we always get asked, people are hesitant about this because a lot of programs requires customers to send their old devices back. For this, that's not the case. They keep their old device and they get to receive that discount on the new one as well. Next slide. All right, here's just a breakdown of how it works. The example shown here is our 5410 desktop, the 24 terabyte. Our standard deal reg on these is going to be 10 points for you guys. If you have that qualifying trade up and provide that serial number, we're going to pass on an extra 10 points on top of your deal reg. So your total discount is going to be 20% off on these particular units. It's going to vary product to product, but in this example, it's going to be 10 and 10. All right, and so if you're not familiar with Buffalo registration, everything starts at quantity 1. There's no minimums as far as dollar amount or units. If you have an opportunity that's Buffalo, please reach out to Mike or myself. And of course, depending on the unit, there's going to be different discounts available. But no matter what, if you have a Buffalo opportunity, we're going to present you with a discount. In addition to that, the dual reg trade up, we have additional incentives for government, education, and healthcare end users. So if you're selling to one of those accounts, you qualify for another 2 points off, making your total discount on the example above 22 off. Then of course you have Mike, myself, Gary Thomas to hop on calls with you, with your customers, answer any questions you have. You name it. If it's Buffalo related, please reach out. And then also something that comes up quite a bit is if you guys don't see any stock in distribution, you're wondering about getting a unit for your customer, we can do a free drop ship direct from Buffalo. Please make sure you include your customer's info on any internal notes. For example, for a lot of our 12 bays, they ship on pallets, and we need that end user info to reach out to them prior to delivery. So that's always helpful. If we get that beforehand, we can make sure everything runs smoothly. Next slide. All right, just a little bit about our Buffalo tech support. Right, we have a great quality NAS, and we're going to have great tech support to go along with that. As Mike mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, we're 4 years running, for the CRN ARC Award for post-sale support. And right, we pride ourselves in doing that, and the way we're able to accomplish that is for your customers, we have 24/7 North American-based phone support based out of San Antonio, Texas. They can call in anytime, day or night. If they have a technical question or need parts replacements, we can get that resolved for them. We also have an online chat, and we also have an email support as well that they can reach out to if that's what they prefer. And then on our website, we have a ton of content thanks to our marketing director, Matt Penico. He's done a fantastic job of building up the content. We have a ton of Q&A on there. He has built out a YouTube page with video walkthroughs of all of our features and functionalities of our Terra Station and WS IoT. So if customers want to understand how to set something up, we can send them the link for a video walkthrough of exactly how they need to accomplish that. And that's super helpful as well. Next slide. All right, I'm going to pass it back to Matt, or I'm sorry, Mike. But definitely appreciate everyone's time. Hopefully, you took something from this, and we can, talk on some future opportunities.
And right there, we just want to let you guys know that that's Andrew and my contact information. So if you guys want to have that information, you can reach out to us. And as Andrew said, we can jump on a call with your customer. So you don't have to remember everything you heard in this presentation because we'll do all the work for you. So right now, we want to just open it up for questions. And you can type a question into the question area, and we'll read it and see if Gary can answer it. All right, Gary, we do have one question for you. And that is, can these devices be used as a surveillance server?
All right, thanks, Mike. So yes, absolutely, you can do that. We actually are running one in our office right now that's connected to several of our cameras in our office. Our office right now is pretty small, with most everyone working remotely. But we do have some cameras set up there and the surveillance software running on a Windows Server IoT box to handle that for us.
Great, thank you, Gary. I have another question. Does the license have to be renewed?
Again, no. This is a single license that's, like, as I said earlier, tied to the hardware. So this is not a subscription-based license. This is a perpetual license. There's no annual renewal or no renewal needed for the license for Windows Server IoT.
And I can probably answer this last question I have right here. Gary says, are these products available for our product refresh program? And Andrew did answer that question. Absolutely, they are. So any opportunities that you have, as Andrew mentioned, our deal wedge is 1 unit. Please don't hesitate to reach out to Andrew or myself. And we definitely like to help you help grow your business. And let's see if there's any other questions. If not, you can always email your questions to Andrew and myself again. And we'd be more than happy if it's something we can't answer to get that over to Gary and let Gary answer it. Or if the customers are really technical or the questions are really technical, feel free to reach out to myself or Andrew, and we will reach out to Gary and set up a call with Gary so that he can go and talk with your customer and we'll just listen in. Again, if there's no other questions, we'd like to thank you for your time, for coming out, and I think we will be doing a raffle again, I believe, and we'll notify the winners.
Mike, while you're working on that, I'll just let everybody know that we'll probably be posting this webinar to our YouTube page sometime in the next week or so.
And if you need a link to, and how did they get to the YouTube page? Just type in Buffalo Americas.
Yes, it's Buffalo Americas YouTube page.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. Well, if there's no more questions, we'd like to thank you guys for your time. And Andrew and myself will be letting you know if you are one of the winners of the prizes. So thanks for your time and have a great day.
Thanks for attending, everyone.